Stretch. So what's our next SCP and how long is it?
Not very long. It's
Okay, I'll read this one. Just give me a second to finish up what I'm doing here.
yeah, sure. All right, this one doesn't show up a picture, but I I assume this has something to do with the SCP, because that's what Google gave me.
Let's see this.
Yeah, and this SCP is nicknamed Wounded Child.
Oh. Oh wait, I might know what this I might know what this SCP is.
Oh,
It's
I
not a
did
wounded child, is it?
uh if I'm correct, then yes and no.
Oh.
But yeah, that title sounds very familiar to something I've seen.
so should we give like a trigger warning?
I don't remember enough to say whether yay or nay.
I'm seeing, like, I didn't go further down, but I'm seeing strangulation, blunt cranial trauma, and bruises.
You know what? Let's give trigger warning. This SCP may contain violence towards children.
Yeah. Okay.
Ow, motherfucker.
What's up?
I caught my toenail on something and it started pulling it.
Ah.
Ow.
Toenail goes pull.
Okay, let me just save. Yeah, I've been playing my uh my side profile of Dredge in the background.
Ah.
Okay, so SCP 2468.
Yep.
Oh, that's right. We're doing series, not numerical order. I was about to say, wait, what the fuck? We're in the 6,000s. Ah, I take the drink.
Yeah.
Bless you. Okay. Item number SCP-2468. Object class Keter. No shit. Special containment procedures. As SCP-2468 relocates at random intervals, it is impossible to fully contain the phenomena. Should 2468 relocate, the surrounding area must be locked down and quarantined by a containment team with cover stories given in the likely case of civilian activity around it. Once lockdown has been achieved, in order to maximize 2468's time within the locked zone, a minimal mass of roughly 5 kilograms of raw flesh meat, or bleh, raw fresh meat, not flesh meat. That's kind of implied by the word meat. Fresh meat will be brought to 2468's area of effect once a week, starting from day one of locating. Disappearance of 2468 must be reported immediately. Description: 2468 is an entity resembling a human child, with all reported cases appearing to be at the ages of 9 to 10 years old. The entity's appearance changes aperiodically, although it also bears wounds of various sources. Strangulation, blunt force trauma, and bruises of varying severity appear to be more common than others. 2468 tends to appear in populated yet open areas, including urban parks and town squares. The entity has shown a tendency to revisit places which have resulted in a successful yield. 2468's behavior is consistent across all instances. The entity lies on the floor in a fetal position and requests help in various languages. Recorded languages include English, Spanish, Russian, Swahili, Hebrew, and German, depending on its current location. Upon reaching a distance of 35 centimeters from 2468, organic objects are lifted by an unknown force to a height of approximately 2 meters and dematerialize completely. Along with 2468, the entity returns to the area after roughly 2 minutes. In the time between 2468's disappearance and its return, no anomalous qualities are found in the area it is located in. Testing has shown that 2468 disables all electronic devices, including GPS trackers and wireless cameras. Huh. Retrieved electronics have shown signs of water damage, even in waterproof objects. 2468 has been responsible for the disappearance of 16 individuals so far. Out of those, 4 have returned. All 4 subjects were reported to have a mass of roughly 55 kilograms or less prior to appearance. All subjects were found in a catatonic state, and 2 expired prior to questioning. Although seemingly intended to capture humans, 2468 will accept any type of meat with a mass above 55 kilograms. Raw and fresh meat has proven to contain the anomaly in the area it's been found in longer than frozen, cooked, or expired meat. Inorganic objects not in contact with organic objects are not affected by 2468. 2468 was first cited by the Foundation during a series of disappearances in 19 redacted in the town of Redacted, New York. The case was brought to the Foundation's attention when Redacted, a homeless woman, seemingly disappeared in front of several witnesses after approaching a child. Redacted was later found catatonic at the town's park. The Foundation interrogated the subject before administering Class B amnestics to her and all the witnesses, and initially a lockdown on 2468's surroundings in order to contain and begin research. Since its discovery, 2468 has moved 35 times. 35 times and is currently located in Redacted, Ohio.
Hey.
Why does it?
Oh.
What? I was about to say, what? Why is the redactions up until this point like the standard black boxes, but that's like the word redacted?
Yeah, so do you want to know what Class B is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Class B, regressive retrograde. Class B indexes start by deconsolidating the most recently formed memories first, and then working our way backwards. The extent of the memory erasure is dependent on the dosage, with a 75 milligram dose resulting in approximately 24 hours of memory loss on average. These are ideal for erasing recent memories older than 6 hours without having to trigger specific memories.
Nice. Addendum 2468-1. Oh, excuse me. Interview of D2468-6. Interviewed. D2468-6. Interviewer. Dr. Sanford. Forward. 2468-6 is the first D class personnel in Dr. Nyagatyn's Nyag. Yeah, that's a name I'm not going to be able to pronounce. Line of experiments with SCP-2468 to survive long enough for an interview. Begin log. Dr. Sanford, what happened after you got close to 2468? D class. I I can't really describe it, Doc. Ain't nothing like anything that ever happened to me. Sanford, could you please try? Subject looks around and sighs loudly. Uh, all right, doctor. I'll try. At first, it felt like I fell up, kind of like skydiving, you know. Except this time, I was going up instead of down. For a few seconds, I just fell up. It's dark as hell, and then I suddenly ever fell into a pool on your stomach. That's what happened. Sanford, you fell up into a pool of water? Oh man, little bit of a formatting error here, I think. Not doing full returns after some lines. Sag.
Damn.
-6. It's it wasn't water. It didn't feel like water. Something about it was just plain wrong. That's when I noticed the fishing hook beneath my teeth. Oh,
Oh!
oh. Okay, that's bad. That's uncomfortable feelings.
Oh no!
Sanford, a fishing hook? Yeah, those crooked metal things you put on your fishing rod. Only a hell lot bigger and lodged in my cheek. Sanford, we didn't find any wounds on your person. -6. I know, but it was there. Lord knows it was. Sanford, I believe you. Continue. What happened when you fell into the water? -6. It was I couldn't breathe. When I first tried to, I inhaled some of the water. Sweet Lord, did it burn on the way in. It was sort of like salt water, too. It was hot and overwhelming, and it felt like I was invaded by fucking salt. I could taste it in my mouth, and it was up my nose and down my chest, and subject becomes very agitated. Interview postponed. Resumed at a later date. -6. Sorry about that, Doc. Sanford. It's all right. Continue. What happened next? -6. All right. I started struggling with my breath before seeing them. Sanford. Who's them? -6. The fuckers who held the rods. They were, there were three of them. And one was a lot bigger than the other two. They were like massive fish with legs and hands, and they had orange scales all over their body. Except for their legs. Those were green. They. One of them, one of the small ones, that held me closer to its face. I could see his head and face. Subject takes a deep breath. And Lord, what an ugly face it had. Sanford. Noted. What happened then? -6. That thing started shaking me around, making the most horrible noise and showing me to the big one. He he just looked at me for a second, and then he threw me back in the water or air or whatever. And that's where we found you? -6. Yeah. Next thing I know, I'm coughing my lungs out and one of you guys rushes to my aid. Sanford. Understood. Will that be all? -6. I. Yeah. No. He, the big one. He. It said something before it threw me back. Sanford. What'd he say? 6. It ain't got no meat on it. Closing statement. -6 was retained for further questioning. Very, very interesting. I will attempt to make contact with these entities. Dr. Niaoyan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not. Addendum 2468-2. Following the
It's
interview...
Dr. Nugent.
Nugent? Okay.
Wait, I'm trying to remember. Sorry. Nguyen. Yeah, Nguyen.
Nguyen? Okay.
Yeah. It's Vietnamese.
Okay. Silent G. Okay. Following the interview, after gaining approval from Security Chief Redacted, starts with an H, Dr. Nguyen began attaching stainless steel plates with messages expressing benevolence and an interest in communication engraved on them to the meat supplied to 2468. All messages were rejected by 2468. After 3 rejected messages, the entity relocated to its current position. Dr. Nguyen was forbidden from sending more messages this way.
There's also a certain group.
Yeah, so yeah, this one's certain group, but I was actually incorrect about remembering this one. I was thinking of a different one. That said, I really like this one because I've always been quite keen on horror and like commentary stories that basically put humans into the perspective of animals that we hunt and or kill.
That
Yeah.
is reverse fishing, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's literally just reverse fishing. Fish guys fishing us up out of the air.
Yeah, we think we're trying to help a child, but we end up getting fished instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, sorry.
like
Continue.
I was gonna say, like the similar like it's in a similar vein to a music video from one of my favorite bands as a kid called Modest Mouse, where they had Modest Mouse and its creator are like extremely staunch environmentalists, and one of their music videos for the song, oh, why am I forgetting the name all of a sudden? Uh, I can't remember the name now. I'll look it up later. But oh wait, no, I think it's King Rat. King Rat. Song's called King Rat, and it's like an animated music video depicting whaling, except it's in reverse. It's whales whaling humans. And it gets pretty damn graphic. And it's just so effective at uh at getting the person to uh actually think about these topics. I'm
Yeah.
probably not describing this the best I could, but anyway.
Yeah. Also, here's the thing. Before we go to the next SCP, I noticed SCP sounded familiar because I fought Professor Lucius with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're wondering.
Lucius had connected it with a different SCP unrelated to it.
Well, no, they did, but also did basically at the very end because a the Chinese MTF person, I forgot his fucking name, got sent up to the 3 fish people. Chen, that's his name, Chen. Yeah, when he came back, he said instead of saying it got no meat on it, he said that the fish people said they don't like Chinese food.
They just they just they just he just randomly made the fish people racist?
Yes.
Also, they had changed one SCP to be connected to this SCP.
Yeah.
And that, remember the fish airline thing? I forgot what it was called, but they had all the
Yeah.
humans that boarded it basically get sent to meat market on their side.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would these extra-dimensional fish people know what China is?
They wouldn't.
It's so stupid.
Well, they had to be racist because that was a lot of their things.
Like,
They also liked showing boobs. They liked giving everything boobs. Remember, they even gave that ghost woman that was trapped boobs.
Yeah.
well, to be fair, I like boobs as well, but I wouldn't shoehorn boobs into everything.
They did.
But yeah, it's just like, what the, like, when you're so aggressively trying to make something bigoted that you just completely ruin what you're looking at, like, what's the goddamn point anymore?
Well, I don't have to show the picture because it's in the SCP article. But there we go.
Synthetic aperture radar.
This
Oh,
one,
we've got another cosmological SCP.
yeah,
Oh my god, this one's long as fuck too.
this one is Nini Mons. Is his nickname?
It's what?
I'm guessing that's how you say it. It's Nini Mons.
Oh, Irnini Mons. Oh,
Nini?
okay. Yeah, it's in
Maybe I
the
should look up how you say that.
yeah, that's
Oh my god,
that
this
name
one's
is
also
also in
long.
this.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
At least it's formatted nicely.
Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna be the one to read this one.
Yeah, have fun reading for the next 45 minutes, Bright. I'm gonna go back to playing something while I listen.
Oh, Nini is pronounced as Irini. I hate it.
Irini.
I hate it.
Item SCP-2474. Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. All electronic communications originating from the Divine Unity 3 space station are to be monitored for signs of influence by 2474. Any missions in the vicinity of Venus undertaken by international space agencies, non-profit Sortia or Sortia, or private interplanetary firms are to be investigated for the potential of encountering 2474, especially those likely to generate data concerning the northern hemisphere of the planet. All persons suspected of exposure to 2474 are to be quarantined under designation A3 protocols. Contact with research subjects and personnel exposed to 2474 is limited exclusively to the Manu 13 system. Due to the high risk of exposure resulting from the new Shambhala colonization expedition, operatives from Mobile Task Force Row 19, Cytherians, have been placed as part of the first 1,000 group of specialist tasks with establishing a full base of operations in the Venetian atmosphere. 20th Row 19 is scheduled to conduct an exploratory mission. Huh?
That's Venusian,
Venusian,
as in
okay.
like Venus.
Right. Spartan Mission 2474, upon the arrival of expedition in March of 2153. Dispatches filed in the late 20th century by Dr. Richard Simonis documenting 2474 have been expunged from records of the era. SCP-2474 is a complex artificial structure located in the summit of Irene Mons, a shield volcano in the Ishtar Terra continent of Venus, and the appearance of an ornate geometrical pattern. While the composition of 2474 cannot be determined at this time, observation has concluded that the material comprising 2474 is not consistent with materials known to exist in quantity on the fuck, I forgot how you say that.
Venusian. Venusian.
Venusian surface. The height of the structure making up 2474 averages at 6.8 meters, with a variance between 2.6 meters to 18.3 meters. The anomaly spans an approximate area of 30 kilometers squared, occupying the highest reaches of Irene Mons. Description truncated for reader protection. SCP-24
That's pronounced truncated. By the way.
truncated. Alright. SCP-2474 is a Destination 8-3 indirect observation cognito hazard. The first known human exposed to the anomaly was Dr. Richard Simonis, lead topography consultant on the Magellan observational mission of Venus, conducted by the now defunct National Aeronautics and Space Administration in 1992. 2474 was first documented by Dr. Simonis using synthetic aperture radar during mapping cycle 3 of Magellan's mission. Subsequent radar mapping activities examining the Venusian surface have confirmed the existence of 2474. 2474 exhibits pronounced neurological and psychological effects on humans observing it through indirect means, such as reading detailed accounts of the anomaly or viewing photographic records. These effects vary in form and severity, as evidenced by Incident 2474.1. 2474 is believed to be inhabited by a previously undocumented species of entities. The precise nature of these entities is unknown. Based on records of Incident 2474.1 and subsequent events, these entities are presumed to be hostile until further notice. Records of Incident 2474.1 as well as Seed's archive of Group of Interest -004B, also known as the Cogwork Orthodox Church, have led to the currently prevailing theory that the structure comprising 2474 is of human origin. The means... Jesus! Hi,
What?
Q.
Oh.
Hey, Drew. How are you?
I didn't see chat, so I didn't notice it too late.
That's awesome.
The means by which 2474 was conducted at least 150 years prior to the viability of planetary exploration technology is unknown. Addendum 2474.1 Initial Containment. Public knowledge of 2474 prior to Foundation containment was limited by the mistaken belief of Dr. Simonis, then a Magellan mission operative in charge of visual data, that the anomaly was a digital artifact resulting from an error in the software converting radar data to maps of the Venusian surface. This resulted in visual evidence of 2474 being removed as part of a general smoothing process of graphical errors in the maps of the surface of Venus. After the events of Incident 2474.1, the personnel records of Dr. Simonis were seized and revived by Foundation researchers. Documentation shows that Dr. Simonis continued working in the aerospace industry for several years after the discovery of 2474, before abruptly resigning from the USA 88 GPS satellite launch mission staff. Personnel correspondence involving Dr. Simonis at this time documents a marked change in personality, with personnel files noting unspecified erratic behavior. This is believed to be attributable in part to 2474 exposure. Public records concerning Dr. Smotus indicate that he divorced in 1995 and purchased several acres of land in rural Michigan later in the year. After the land purchase, the only documentation relating to Dr. Smotus is correspondence from various publishing houses, internet-based literary services. During these years, Dr. Smotus repeatedly attempted to publish a short story entitled The Threshold and the 19 and On, which was uniformly rejected by all recipients. Dr. Smotus self-published the story on several occasions in several different forms of electronic media. No evidence exists that the story was read by any individuals apart from Dr. Smotus. Access to the Threshold and the 19 and On is currently exclusive to Menu 13 per 83 protocol. Dr. Smotus was declared deceased by the State of Michigan Vital Records Office in 2037, after a request by county-level officials to discharge his estate to his legal heirs. The death certificate of Dr. Smotus lists no cause of death, as no remains were ever recovered. After investigations of his Schoolcraft County, Michigan residence in a vicinity. That year has not happened yet. Anyways. Addendum 2474.2, Incident 2474.1. Incident Report. Date November 23rd, 2142. Anomaly involved 2474. Casualties 6 staff injured. Lead researcher. Oh, fuck me.
No, thank you.
Can I get someone to please tell me how to say this? I don't want to say it wrong.
I'm not paying attention.
Let me look.
That's
Oh,
Korean.
the lead researcher.
Huh?
I'm going to look that up.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
This Chew. When I highlighted, I have no idea how to say that name. I really don't want to say it wrong. Look, Chew, at least I am asking how to say it right.
I'm listening to how to pronounce it.
Oh, sorry.
Sung.
Okay.
The first part is sung.
Alright.
Should I look up J and Rim?
Probably. Just to be safe.
I guess we're waiting. How is everyone in chat doing? Oh wow, I have 7 viewers. Why is it every time when I do, like, either the content farm or this, I get the most views?
I don't know. This is peak content for you, I guess?
I guess so.
Yeah, that's what I thought. J Rim.
Alright.
Song J Rim.
Lead researcher Sung J Rim, researcher Jens Halverson, researcher Anjali Manava, researcher Jacob Fenton, technician Leonard Garbowski, technician Ishi Kaiman. Property loss and not applicable. I'm pretty sure that's what that is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not applicable.
Yeah, incident summary. Research team Analyzing imagery results from the recent Harbinger 3 clandestine satellite, or clandestine satellite
Clandestine. Yeah.
mission in.
You were correct. It's clandestine.
Oh, Harbinger 3.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you can like pronounce it either way. I guess it can kind of just depend on like where you are or whatever. So
Right.
I don't know.
Harbinger 3 clandestine satellite mission in low Venus orbit encounters image of unknown presumed anomalous structure present in northern Venusian hemisphere approximately 3 hours after final report for initial SCP classification. All members of research team begin exhibiting signs of distress. Lead researcher Sung becomes unresponsive to all stimuli, while researcher Fenton and technician Kaiman report visual and auditory hallucinations. Remaining team members report intense sensation of intrusive thoughts. All personnel immediately quarantined under emergency cognito hazard response procedures. Response 2474 receives official classification and is listed as Destination A3 Cognito Hazard. Lead researcher Sung receives diagnosis of permanent vegetative state and is moved to long-term intensive care facility. Researcher Fenton and technician Kaiman receive ongoing course of sedatives and antipsychotics to control anomalous symptoms. All staff currently being evaluated for therapeutic and counseling needs upon expiry of A3 quarantine. Alright, Addendum 2474.3 Research Log 2474.17 Staff Observations. Forward, exposure to 2474 is believed to have provided affected research staff with an unknown relationship to an as yet unidentified race of entities believed to reside at the site of the anomaly. Attempts to ascertain the nature of these entities are ongoing. In an effort to understand more about the nature of the anomaly, interviews of the responsive staff from Incident 2474.1 were conducted between January 8th, 2143 and March 17th, 2143 by the Manu 13 artificial intelligence system. The system having been demonstrated to be immune to cognito hazardous effects by 2474. Many individual and group interviews were conducted in order to determine the nature of 2474. The following are transcripts of these interviews that have provided significant data regarding 2474. Portions of these transcripts have been altered by Manu 13 in order to remove potential cognito hazards and have been noted. Interview 2474.4 Manava 1. Manu 13. You describe the sensation being made to think in a way alien to your consciousness and Jolly. Would you mind describing more about these thoughts?
Is Festus coming through my mic?
Yes.
Yes.
So I heard it after I said about these thoughts, and then meow.
It's more like a caterwaul, which is a type of like call the cat will do, like the long like meowing. So
Yeah.
we hear Festus caterwauling very specifically. Unless he's gonna do
Alright.
normal meows.
I gotta pet the pasta. Be right back in a second.
I've
Well, to
been
be fair, that's
trying
kind-
so hard not to laugh.
To be fair, that's kind of all
You're
Festus
my
does.
lap now.
Festus
Big
just
voice.
caterwauls.
My last scotch.
Festus
My first
only
scotch.
yells.
You're a lot smaller. You're like half
All right,
now.
Festus is on my chest, so
Big-
hopefully he'll be quiet. And then he immediately ran away. What the fuck, bro?
Alright. And I can now hear you guys. Not sure if you could hear me.
Now we
I
can.
could hear you. I was cussing out Festus because he got up on my chest, got like 3 pets, and then immediately ran away.
Oh. Anyways, I will now continue. Researcher.
Sounded, it sounded like you said, "I will not continue." Okay, go ahead.
Researcher Manava. Could you do the hologram thing? I don't like talking to an empty room. Certainly, energetic. Manu 13 projects hologram holographic avatar in chair opposite researcher. Would you mind describing more about these thoughts? It wasn't neatly defined, not like images or clear phases or anything neat. It was all kinds of muddled together, but it was like I wasn't in control of it. Does that make sense? No. Well, joking. Yes, please continue. Anyway, it would be something like a collection of sensations or the memory of sensations. And there would be words in it, a little. Like, I would be cognizant that I should be feeling an intense heat on my face. And I would be thinking of distance between 2 parallel lines, and the word Fumu would echo around it, in it. Believed to be the term for form, in an archaic form of Yoruba dialect in this context. What do you... Oh, fuck off, Chew. Researcher Manava pauses. It was overpowering. Nothing else could be in my head while that was happening. I didn't know to be afraid or to think that I was being violated somehow. And you know what's weird? What is weird? Thinking back on it, it's not happening again when I remember it. But I feel some of the same things. Well, not feel, but almost feel. Like remembering something that just happened to you. That is weird. That is consistent with narratives provided by Bosky and Halverson. It's becoming different now, just talking about it. It's transcript altered for reader protection. It's frustrating, like I'm almost remembering something not quite. Situational speaking. That is weird. That is not consistent with narratives provided by your Bosky and Halverson. Anyways, interview 2474.11 Ishi 3. Menu 13. Have the images stopped. Technician Ishi. This is how things are for something of your kind, an error of programming, and you perceive differently? What do you mean? It is still there. It blends in when I stare at the wall, but when I close my eyes, it becomes crystal clear. The image of the white face, you mean? The medication blurs it. It clouds my mind, but it blurs that face too. It cannot look me in the eyes anymore. A small mercy. The analytical team tells me they don't believe it to be a face. That your mind constructs it to be a face in order to be recognizable. Damn them and damn you. I know what I see. I know the difference between things like streaks of black light that sound like wind when I focus on them in a face. Do you want me to request an increase in sleep medication? Your irritability is slightly above baseline. That does no good. The images are fixed in my dreams as well. What about transcript altered for reader protection? Transcript altered for reader protection. Do you think it's a separate entity, a life form, what is seen on these occasions? This idea of separateness is foreign to this thing. A small part of the whole, but the whole isn't in one piece. This is not like life as we know it. Some of the others describe specific emotions associated with the hallucination. Has this changed for you? I feel hope. I feel hope, but it's the hope of something else. Something that is not me. I find it disturbing. Interview 2474.20. Halverson Fenton 1. Researcher Halverson. I don't like doing this at the same time. Menu 13. Being in your presence has brought a marked decrease in Jacob's symptoms. This is a potential breakthrough in understanding 2474. Yeah, I get that. I still don't like it. My skin is crawling. I feel like someone's standing behind me ever since I came into this room. I have been told my presence can have that effect. No, that's different. Psychological. This feels physical. Researcher Fenton. Humming undetermined tune. What the fuck? Alright. P bracket theta prime of the gamma P bracket theta prime over 15.838. P bracket theta prime over 15.838 to the 18th power. This is the most intelligible Jacob has been since the initial incident. It's not intelligible. That's not even math. Researcher Fenton continues humming in background. That is yet to be determined. Leave the math to me, Jens. Menu 13 laughs. Yes, you got a point there, Jacob. Jacob, it's me, Jens. Do you recognize me? Fenton flinches violently away and continues humming. P bracket theta prime over P bracket equals 3. P bracket theta prime over P bracket equals 2. Jacob has an attempt to flee from a non-existent stimulus for 3 consecutive hours. This is really a noteworthy departure. Halverson puts hands over her face. God, it's bright all of a sudden. Hold on, he's going to say... 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 3, 1, 2. Yeah, that. And now it's gonna be 1, 3, 1 over theta prime. 1, 4, 1, 2, 1, 3 over theta prime. 1, 3, 1 over pi. Fascinating. That's not the term I would use. Interview 2474.28. Manava Garbowski Ishii 2. Menu 13. You are speaking for that group again, and Jolly. Researcher Manava. Yes. You are speaking for the group and Jolly. Like last time, I'm going to ask you to reflect upon the influence you felt during the incident. And like last time, I am going to ask Angela to describe the modalities that develop as you think. Technician Garbowski. Roger. 47 seconds of silence. It feels like it's about 20 minutes in the past. Does that make sense? Technician Ishii and Technician Garbowski nod assent. But We're not waiting in the anteroom for the experiment to begin. We're doing something else. Slight pause. We're in a circle of some sort. I understand. Technician Ishii. It is another language. We're speaking something that sounds not unlike I knew. It is Eastern of some sort. Right, and there's a dozen of us, maybe more. I recognize us, but we're not really there. Dozen at least, maybe more. Are there any unifying concepts, commonalities? No, strangely not. Like, that's the point, almost. Everyone's kind of all over the place. I feel like being put into a sack. I feel that the notion of distance is ceasing to hold. The person next to me is 3 light years away. Manu 13 laughs. No, that is so. Something is leaving. We are leaving. We are leaving, but staying. Parts of us are leaving. Venus. Repeat, please, later on. Venus. It's Venus. Distance is stretching out to Venus, and now it's snapping back. Yes, I feel like it's now the present time, here in the room, I mean. What are your most dominant impressions at this instant? Relief. Grief? Yes, that's right too. Diminishment. We have stepped away from the threshold. We have chosen to be lesser. And jolly. Yes, all of it. I long to see the machinery in the future. I'm afraid of the grave that lies in. I don't want to be sealed up to die, but I'm left behind. Stifled sobs. God, it's making me cry. Technicians. Technician Ishii and Technician Gabrowski nod assent. That's enough now. Interview 2474.39, Fenton 5. Menu 13. Time since last dosage of therapeutic drugs is now 5 hours, 38 minutes. Are you certain you want to proceed, Jacob? Researcher Fenton. Yes. I've seen it. I saw it before, but I didn't know what it was. But I'm really seeing it now. You need to take this stuff into the record. This is obviously distressing you. Doesn't matter. We need to do this now, while it's still fresh. Then give me my cups full of pills again. You've said you've seen it. What have you seen? The skip. I've been inside it. Security records have you accounted for in the facility for the entire duration of... No, not like that. These things, they travel, not to places, not like that. Then you think, and then they have you, just like that. They're not here, not yet, but you can still go with them a little. They leak out around what should be. I don't understand, Jacob. Tell me about the location. Transcript altered for reader protection. What did Nava call it when she saw it? A mandala? I think. I thought it was a maze. Thing with a maze, though, is that the way in and the way out remain the same while you're in them. So SCP-2474 changes physical structure. No, you're still thinking like one of us. You have to think like them. But then you let them in. Oh man, you don't want to let them in. Never mind, don't think like them. I don't follow. There are people in there. I've seen them. Not just people, though. No, there's machines, great gleaming towers of metal. With no purpose that we can figure. Chasms going deep into the ground, wires, lights. They have shit in there that can grind thoughts. Manu. I don't even think they're supposed to do that. Just a side effect. That kind of stuff happens when you force things into states of being that they don't belong in. You can tell from the interior, steel hovering in gaseous form through the hall's electrical current made solid. Can you imagine being locked up in something like that?
There are people. How is that so?
Some went with them. They're not people anymore, of course. How could they be? Things didn't go as clear as expected when the 13 expelled these things.
Clean.
Thought-
Clean.
No, it's me. Yeah. Thought without body, sexier than you might think.
Expelled. What do you mean by that?
Ejected, forced out from us long before anyone could write this stuff down. Thank God for that. Permanent records of these things? Fuck that.
Is there a physical entrance to 2474, Jacob?
Transcript altered for reader protection. Hope that whoever ends up out there doesn't find it.
That would seriously jeopardize any planned research missions.
Good. Interview 2474-41. Sung, Halverson, Manava, Fenton, Gerbowski, Ishii, 1. Menu 13.
Site security officer informs me that all systems are clear for deployment. We will now commence.
8 seconds of silence. Researcher Fenton hums in background. Steady electronic beeps from heart rate monitor attached to lead researcher Sung's hospital bed.
It is as we discussed, and Jolly will mediate upon her experience with 2474. She will call out a mantra. Respond as you will. Technician Ishii, I must ask again. You are willing to serve as the receiver for contact.
Technician Ishii, yes.
Please proceed, Aunt Jolly.
3 minutes 18 seconds of silence and background noise. Researcher Manava, exile. Researcher Helverson, now I need these beings. 1 minute 9 seconds of silence and background noise. Manava, exile. Helverson, they're calling it New Shambhala. It was always in you. You want us. 5 minutes 33 seconds of silence and background noise. Manava, birth. Researcher Fenton, high-pitched distress neem. Manava, birth. Fenton continues high-pitched neem noises. Manava, life. Neem stops 2 minutes 18 seconds of silence. Gerbowski, that ain't life. That can't be life. Manava, enter. Lead researcher Sung. No. Footnote 3. Despite the event, EEG monitors detected no brain activity at this time. Lead researcher Sung has remained in a permanent vegetative state since this incident. Audible distress from several staff. Manava, enter. Technician Ishii. Transcript altered for reader protection. 18 minutes 45 seconds missing for reader protection. Alarms, sirens in background.
Please flush the HVAC system now. The aerosolized amnestic is approaching unsafe levels immediately.
Aerosolized.
Aerosolized, got it. Alarm sirens in background.
Telling the medics to hurry. Kaimon doesn't have long.
And last interview log. Interview 2474.42, Manava 8. Menu 13.
Why was it tied to one person? The research suggests that the entities make no differentiation between individuals.
Manava. Researcher Manava. I don't know, Manu. I think this is beyond us.
That is a strange sentiment for someone like you.
38 seconds of silence.
We
We heard about the launch menu. Even in a sealed A3 environment, we heard about that. About the first 1,000. Humanity's greatest achievement, and that's what's waiting for them.
It'll be approximately 1 year before a mission reaches Venus. Command is working on containment. This is why you were all pushed so far. The data is very valuable.
Or Kaimon. 17 seconds of silence.
They should let us brief them.
What do you mean?
You're even worse at bullshit than humans. I know they're sending a task force. They have to be. They should have let us talk to them.
Oh wait, that was the wrong person. Whoops. They should have let us talk to them.
You know why that is impossible.
Yeah, I know. So what? This isn't documentable. They need to feel this. Walking into something like that,
And Jolly.
they're sitting you. Aren't they?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, right. How could they not? 32 seconds of silence. Manu, I have one piece of information. I think before we wrap this up.
Please share.
When that thing came through, the amnestics, I don't think it just disappeared back to whatever space it inhabits.
No.
I think we killed it.
Oh.
Whatever lies in the anomaly, I don't think they understand what it means to be tied to physical space. But killing one, I think if we instructed them somehow, I think we helped them to understand us a little more.
Perhaps understanding is a positive result.
God, be careful out there, Manu. Also, yeah, apparently the link goes to other anomalies the MTF has captured.
Oh.
Okay. So yeah, that's the end of this SCP. Is this gonna be another certain group?
It might be.
Oh,
Huh.
motherfucker, I was muted.
You okay out there?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, I think it's certain group again because like there's some danger from it, but you have to have the means to look at a very specific place on Venus. Which, granted,
Right.
this SCP article takes place in the future, so maybe that's easier for people then. But otherwise, like the only other source of infection is from talking about it,
Yeah.
and that's just meh. Early on in the article, I had to take like 3 double takes because I heard it mention the now defunct NASA. And
Yeah.
I was about to say, oh, wait, what? Wait, man, what?
Maybe NASA comes back.
I don't think NASA comes back.
I just find that funny.
Yeah.
Yes, Elon Musk does have a job then. No more space
Elon Musk
rockets.
Elon
Oh.
Musk doesn't work through
Oh.
NASA, you dingus.
Oh.
The the whole point of SpaceX is trying to pull aeronautic stuff away from being a government thing and into the private sector.